Tonight we are catching this 14-hour-long Thai sleeper train in their oldest first-class sleeper carriage. We'll travel for more than 800 kilometers overnight through Thailand's vast landscapes to the capital Bangkok. Come with me as I show you all the onboard amenities, from the comfy beds to the disappointing dining car, as I show you the full experience of what it's like to ride Thailand's classic first-class sleepers overnight. Our journey starts here in Trang, the gateway town to many of Thailand's lesser-known islands like Koh Muk and Koh Lanta. The station is located fairly centrally in the city and boasts a number of local food vendors right outside of it, as well as some bigger international players. Heading inside the fairly small station building here, there really isn't a lot apart from a ticket office and a couple of seats. There was also this little shelf, which I assume is a literature exchange station, as I didn't see any price tags. Heading onto the platform, we can already see our train waiting here, as this has come down from Bangkok the previous night and spent the entire day parked here. The station only sees service by 2 daily train pairs to and from Bangkok. The slightly faster and higher quality express service we will be catching, which also starts and ends its journey here, and the slower rapid service that carries on one stop further south to Kantang. Our train tonight will be hauled by this Chinese-built locomotive by CRRC, which carries the nickname Ultraman. They are capable of 120 km per hour. Behind the locomotive is a whole load of different carriages. The cheapest option on board is the third-class seated carriages, which are fan-cooled, and I can't say I would recommend this for an overnight journey. Slightly nicer seats are also available, and of course the train also carries 2 different kinds of sleeper carriages. Second-class sleepers come with bunk beds along the length of the carriage with curtains added for privacy. Some are fan-cooled and others have air conditioning. But we will be traveling in a private first-class room on tonight's train, which is the most expensive and premium option. Our carriage is one of the older ones, built around the 1990s by Daewoo, a big South Korean manufacturing firm that has made all sorts of things. As we head on board, I should mention that Thailand until recently used to have some even older first-class sleepers from Japan with funky one-person rooms, but they seem to have been decommissioned now, or at least I could not work out which trains they're used on, if any at all, in regular service. Anyway, here we are in our room for tonight. This is bunk 1 and 2 and will be home for the next 14 hours. Right now the cabin is in day mode, with the top bunk folded down to make this couch-like seat for sitting. Waiting in the cabin is 2 bottles of complimentary water, as well as freshly cleaned bedding. The mattress and pillow are also stowed away, ready for conversion to bed mode later. Before departure, me and my travel companion enjoyed some fresh takeaway from one of the food vendors outside of the station, and before we knew it, it was time for departure, which was punctual to the minute at 17:00. Our train does carry a dining car today, so we should be able to get a meal, but as you'll see later, this wasn't quite the case today, so I was happy to eat before we departed. Anyway, as we are now well on our way, let's instead take a closer look at the route map for today's journey. We are catching train 84, which departs every day from Trang, heading north, taking the 837 km long route via Surat Thani to Bangkok, where we are scheduled to arrive after a journey time of 14 hours and 5 minutes. This gives the train an average speed of 59 km per hour. As we are now making our way north, let's take a closer look at the cabin where we will be spending the next 14 hours. Every cabin has space for 2 people, and can be locked from the inside only using this 2-point locking mechanism. Inside the room you have a small sink with running water. Above this you'll find a holder for drinking water, and the room's control panel including volume and light control. High up next to the door you'll find the room's 2 power outlets. Slightly interesting, there is a window into the corridor blocked off by this curtain. There's also some space for luggage storage, and the air conditioning can be slightly controlled using these knobs. Every bunk bed also gets a small pocket as well as a reading light. And there's some more shelves for luggage storage, but these were currently being used by the bedding. There's also a small table. Overall, it's not perfect, but it's a good place to spend the night. The first part of the journey I just spent sat back, relaxing, enjoying some of the passing scenery as the sun slowly started to set. Around 90 minutes after departure, we joined the main north to south railway line at Tung Song Junction, where we will share this line all the way to Bangkok with night trains from places like Hat Yai and Padang Besar just across the border in Malaysia. With darkness upon us, I decided to head to the restaurant car for a meal. This train carries one of the older ones which has opening windows and fans, and pretty comfortable seating. Unfortunately, right after I grabbed the menu and sat down, we were informed by one of the staff members that they had some sort of issue with the kitchen, so they weren't able to make meals at the moment. There was a little bit of a language barrier here, so I'm not entirely sure what the issue actually was, but given nobody else was eating anything, I think something in the kitchen must have broken. However, they did have some ice cold and refreshing drinks, so I grabbed some of those and headed back to my room. In the meantime, we told our sleeper car attendant to make up the beds, and wow, these look really comfortable. A large but slightly on the harder side pillow is provided, alongside a pretty thin blanket. And before it's time to get some sleep, let's go and check out the toilets. These are found at one end of the first class carriage, and to my surprise, they came with a shower. I will highly recommend going here with flip-flops though, because if you do attempt to take a shower in here, the floor will get very wet. Overall, the toilet was looking clean and shower was actually working, so if you really wanted to, you could have a nice refreshing shower. And if you prefer the squat toilets, there's also one of those on board. Right, and with that, it's time to shut off the lights and try to get some sleep. I wake up the next morning around 6:30, which is just around the same time as sunrise. Our train is currently on the outskirts of Bangkok, passing through many suburban stations and neighborhoods. Overall, I slept pretty okay. I got around 6 hours in total, which I thought was alright. But I should mention that the train is not so smooth, which probably has a lot to do with Thailand using narrow gauge track, which does make it harder for the carriages to remain stable. It's not uncomfortable, but I did wake up once or twice due to the forces. Soon enough, we see the start of railway electrification, which means we're getting very close to Bangkok. This is used by SRT's Light Red Line, which is one of Bangkok's suburban railway lines. It's one of just 3 electrified railway lines in all of Thailand, and with a top speed of 160 km per hour, it is actually one of the world's fastest narrow gauge railway lines. Next up, we call at Bang Bamru, which is our penultimate stop and offers an opportunity to transfer to said Light Red Line. The air quality on the day I recorded this video was actually so bad that they made most of the electrified suburban rail free to use in order to encourage people to travel greener ways. And you can certainly get a sense that the air quality isn't amazing today by the slight haze outside. Right, as we begin our approach into Bangkok's Krung Thep Aphiwat station, let's talk about tickets. Sleeper tickets on Thai railways are generally fixed prices. The entire room for 1 or 2 people from Trang is priced at just shy of 2,000 Thai baht, which I think is great value for the level of comfort offered. The biggest issue with first class sleepers in Thailand is that on most trains there's only one carriage with sleepers, meaning only 9 rooms are available, so they often sell out very fast. The best way to avoid this is to book ahead online directly with SRT on their official D-Ticket website, and it even has a waitlist function should first class already be sold out. Overall, I have enjoyed this trip with the State Railways of Thailand. Their trains are generally clean, comfortable, and it's a great way to see some parts of the country you normally wouldn't when taking one of the many domestic flights. Let me know what you think about the Thai railways in the comments, and have you tried the sleeper trains and which route is your favorite? I would love to hear. We pull into Bangkok's Krung Thep Aphiwat station on time at 07:05 after what's been a nice journey. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you liked the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel as I try to post a new video every Sunday. And if you want to give the channel a little extra support, consider joining the membership program to get early access to all my videos as well as exclusive travel updates for just a couple of euros every month. If you want to continue the journey, why not watch this video on Malaysia's jungle sleeper train? And as always, thanks for watching.